Okay, hello, welcome everybody. It's Sally from the Youth Gambling Awareness Program, or YGap for short. And today we're going to play some fun games and we're going to learn a little bit while we play too. So to play these games, I'm going to be using the following items. I have a die here with me. I have a coin. I have a bag full of marbles here. And lastly, I have a deck of cards. Okay, so these are the things that I have. In order for you to play, all you really need is something to write with and a piece of paper. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to look around your house, look around your apartment, and find those things and come all the way back. Now, while you're doing that, I want you to think about 4 of your favorite things because we're going to be writing those down. So 4 of your favorite things that you own. Now, there's a couple of rules to go along with this. So rule number 1, you have to own that item, meaning that even though, you may love your family's car, apartment, pool in the backyard, if it's an underground pool, it's not something that you personally own, right? So we can't write that down. Rule number 2 is you're not going to be able to write down anybody's name. So we may love our friends, our parents, siblings, cousin, grandma, whomever. We love them, but we don't own them. So we can't write that down either. So you're going to write down 4 things that are yours that you own. And while you're thinking about that or while you're writing down, I'm going to show you my list that I have right now. So for my list here, I have sunscreen, I've got my phone, my backpack, and my car. So these are all things that are important to me. These are all things that I use on a regular basis. So I want your list to look something like mine. Not the exact same things, but 4 things, plain and simple, easy peasy, okay? So we're gonna get started and we're actually going to play 4 different games. And all of these games are actually chance-based. And when I say chance-based, you might say, wow, what does that mean, Sally? Okay, so when I say a chance-based game, it means that we have no control over the outcome. So we don't know if we're going to win, if we're going to lose, we're really unsure. So for our first game, it's just an easy flip a coin game, where I flip this coin and we guess whether the coin will land on heads or tails. Now, before I flip the coin, we actually have to record or write down what our guess is. So right beside where I have sunscreen, I'm going to write down an H for heads because I'm going to guess heads. So I've got my guess right here. If I guess correctly, what I will do next, I'm going to write a 2 here. So if I guess it right, that means we've won, or I've won, and I'm doubling up on this item. So my first item is sunscreen. That means I'd win 2 bottles of sunscreen. Yes. Now, if I were to guess incorrectly, so if I flipped and it was tails, I chose heads, that's when we draw a line right across, meaning that we've lost that item, we have given up. And so these are actually what we call our wagers, and a wager is when you bet something. But I want you to keep in mind that this is just for fun and education. We're not actually giving away our favorite things. And also, if you did double up and win a phone, I couldn't give you another phone. I'm sorry, I couldn't. So this is just for fun. We're going to see how many items we have left by the end of it. So here goes. So again, one thing before we play. Oh, never mind. Okay, so here goes. I know you can't see it, but I'm telling the truth. Okay, we have tails here. So it's the loon, that's tails. Remember what I wrote down? I wrote down heads. I have lost, unfortunately. Okay, I've lost. That's okay. We're going to move on to the second activity, okay? But before we start, I have one question for you. If we were playing for keeps and actually losing or winning these items, would this be gambling? So I want you to think about the definition of gambling. It's when you bet something of value on a game or an activity and you don't really know if you'll win or lose. So the items on our list are our favorite things, so they're valuable to us. And each of these games are based on chance. So again, we don't know if we'll win or lose. So if we were playing for keeps, then yeah, these games would be gambling games. So we're going to start and go ahead with our second activity. So this time we have marbles to play with. So in this bag here, I've got 5 different marbles. I'm going to show you so you can see them. Yes, okay. I have 5 marbles here. I have 4 dark marbles and 1 light marble. We have to try, or I have to try and pull out the light marble. If we do get that, again, we double up, and that's where we write that 2 on the second item on our list. But if we don't, then we lose that second item. Quick question. Do you think we have a better chance or worse chance to pull the light marble than we did when we were guessing correctly about the coin landing on heads or tails? How do we figure that out in the first place? So one thing that's really good to look at is our odds. When we talk about odds, odds are our chances of winning compared to our chances of losing. So in the marble case, we have 1 light marble, so we have 1 chance to win, and then we've got, hope you can see it, we've got 4 chances of losing. So our odds are 1 to 4. Now, if we look at our coin again, we have 1 chance to win, and we've got 2 sides here. So we've got 1 chance to win and 1 chance to lose. So really, we had better odds of guessing the right answer with the first activity, which was our coin flip activity. But we'll see what happens with the marbles. Let's get started. Give it a good shake. So let's see here. Okay, dark marble, we did not win. So that means for our second item, we are crossing it out. I've lost my phone. That's not great. But again, it's just for fun, thank goodness. Otherwise, that would be a terrible situation for me. Okay. Now, there's another way to look at our chances of winning. And you may have heard this in math class. I know it's the summer. I'm sorry about talking about math class, but it's by looking at the probability of something happening. To figure that out, when we talk about probability, we look at our chances of something specific happening compared to the total number of outcomes and possibilities. So in our next activity, we're going to try and guess what number will be rolled on my die here. And we're going to figure out the probability of us getting the right answer. So I'm going to guess that we roll 2, okay? There's only one number 2 here on this die. So we have 1 chance of that happening. And we know there are a total of 6 sides, so we have 6 possible outcomes. We could roll any one of these numbers, so our probability is, I hope you're saying it in your head, 1 out of 6. So we're going to give it a try. I want everybody to write down the number you think is going to be rolled beside the third item on your list. And I think that's my backpack for number 3. Yes, it is. So I'm going to write number 2. I hope. We'll see what happens. So I think that the die will roll a 2. We'll see what happens. Again, I know you can't see it rolling and falling, but I'm telling the truth. Don't worry about it. Okay, number 6. So didn't win this time as well. All right then. Means I'm crossing out my backpack. So when we bet something of value, we really have to consider not only how it affects us, the players, but how it might affect those around us if we lose. So it's really exciting to win. I love it. But if we lose, it might impact more than just ourselves. So if I bet my television, for example, and I lost, oh no, I would have to consider how much this would affect other parts of my life. If I share this TV with other people in my house and if it's gone, yes, it's affecting me, but it's also affecting others who can't watch TV either. So we're going to play one more game, and this is for our 4th item. And here I've got a full deck of cards. So we have to try and guess which card will be pulled. And we're guessing the number and the suit. And so this whole deck here is 52 cards, okay? And of these 52, I'm going to guess the 8 of hearts. And I'm going to write that down right beside my last item, which is a car. not great. So we've got the 8 of hearts. I hope you can see that right there. Okay, so 8 of hearts. Here we go. But before we do that, we're going to kind of figure out our odds and our probability of guessing correctly. So again, we said that the odds are our chances of winning compared to our chances of losing. There's only one of each card, so one chance to be right and 51 chances to be incorrect. So the odds are 1 to 51. Now, the probability, if you remember again, is the chance of being correct compared to the total number of chances. So one chance to be correct with 52 chances total. So the probability is 1 out of 52. This seems to be our trickiest game yet, with the worst odds and probability of winning. So I hope everyone's picked their number. I'm kind of shuffling the cards as best as I can to make sure that it's as random as it possibly can be. Okay. Almost ready. Here we go. It is the 2 of spades. So I'm crossing this last item out as well. Better luck next time, I guess. Now, why do you think it's important in the first place to understand odds and probability if you're going to be betting or playing for keeps? First off, you want to know how likely it is that you're going to win or lose, and it can really help you decide whether you want to actually make a bet, play for keeps, or just play for fun. If you decide to make a bet, it can also help you decide if you're willing to bet with a certain item, right? Because you don't want to be betting with something you're not okay to lose. I should never bet my car. I would not be okay to lose it and live without it. What are some other things we should decide if we want to play for keeps or make a bet? How do we do this safely? We already talked about not betting with things that other people use or depend on, like our television. We talked about understanding odds and probability and not betting an item that you would be really upset if you lost, like my car. Another thing to keep in mind is what might happen if we were to win a bet against a friend, but we were to take away one of their most important items. How would that affect your friendship? Probably not that great. They'd probably be pretty upset. We know that winning can be fun, winning is exciting, but as we saw today, you never know when you're going to win. So you want to make sure you're playing games for fun too. You don't always have to bet. Make time to go outside, be active. That's fun, but it can keep you healthy. So I want you to take this information and store it in your brain. I hope you had fun today and learned a little bit too, even though it's the summer. I want to leave you with a very important phone number too. It's for the Kids Help Phone. Now, the Kids Help Phone is just for kids, just like you, who may want to talk to an adult about gambling or bullying or anything else. The Kids Help Phone is free and it's confidential, meaning that it is private. And they are there to help you with any problem that you may have. And so the number is below the screen here. It's 1-800-668-6868. So thank you for participating, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.